Welcome to another episode of BorderLaughs podcast, guys. Thank you for joining me today here in location South Austin, Texas, here at Perritos restaurants here with my good friends, the Koffin Kats, guys. How y'all doing?
Good, man.
Yeah. So if you're not familiar with the Koffin Kats, guys, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to have them introduce themselves and let them know, get them to know you guys. So
I'm Tommy Koffin, play guitar in the Koffin Kats.
I'm Vic. I play the upright bass and I sing.
Amir, I play the drums.
Joe, what do you do?
yeah,
Merchandise? Is it just Joey? Or?
Is it just Joey?
Is it JDT?
It's JDT. That's Joey Train Tickets. Right?
Celebrity. And his own
He's
head.
a little shy today for some reason.
Is it your first time on a podcast? Okay, awesome. So Joey's on first time podcast. We're popping his cherry.
Yeah, he hates this so much. We're going to have so much fun with it.
So if you don't know who the Koffin Kats are, guys, they are my favoriteest band. Obviously here, been touring the nation, worldwide, really, for about 10 years now. And these guys have a very specific niche of music. And I always get approached when people ask me, what type of music do they play? So I'm gonna go ahead and let them describe that, and to the best of your ability. How could you describe Psychobilly is really? Or would you even categorize that as your type of music?
We're a mutt breed. Everything we grew up listening to and influenced us, and same with just the times even, you know. Like, oh, we're really into this style of music, but it's rock and roll.
Much like the animals we like to adopt, we are mutts. And our music is mutt music for us amongst we're at the very core of our being, we're a rock and roll or punk rock and roll band. I love the sound of upright bass. We love all things spooky, fun, and good time. And we really don't like to bring politics into anything. We're here for a good time and like to have music that people can hopefully relate to and have a good time with. But you know, it's something, we like to make music that you can get aggressive to, and then at the same side, you can also chill out, put your headphones on, and then we have some music where you can kick back too. We like to cover all the bases.
Yeah. The most well-known description that people put Psychobilly or this type of music would be a blend of rockabilly music along with punk.
Yes.
And yes, I think that would be the most accurate.
The core definition of psychobilly is essentially taking rockabilly music at its core and then injecting it with punk rock and all that madness and craziness and with the swing and beat of the rockabilly and all that stuff.
My style of fucking music. So that's pretty much what I grew up on, a lot of punk music. I grew up on, my brother was a big punk guy. You guys remind me a lot of my brother because he came up in kind of late 80s realm, and a lot of his influences was like The Cure. I listened to The Cure growing up, and we listened to a lot of different punk bands. And I don't remember the names of them, but I do remember hearing them. Bad Brains too back in the day. So he had like a good genre of different music that he would listen to, introduce me to the punk aspect. And so when I got older, I ran out of music to listen to, and I got tired of a lot of shit that I was hearing. And so that's when I met Lee Lewis in San Antonio. He put me on to you guys, and when he had met you guys down in Corpus Christi while you were on tour. A long time ago when you were in the band and then you had left and then came back, but at that time that's when I had really was searching for a lot of good music, and I stumbled across you guys, and I was like, my God, this is wonderful, this is beautiful. Like, there's guys that actually do this, so I was blown away because that was the first time I really got introduced to your music and this type of music, and I became a fan instantly. And then when I met you guys and how cool and humble you guys were on the road, I mean, that was also a treat for me because then you guys introduced me to the Quakes and then more of your genre of music. And I was like, what do you guys listen to? So that was more on my side because I'm a big music guy when it comes to comedy and music. Is like they go hand in hand. Growing up, one of my big influences that I didn't even know he was a comedian was listening to a Tool album. And in one of the Tool songs, Bill Hicks, he had a small script of Bill Hicks. And he said a real funny joke about musicians. And that quote always stuck in my brain. But him and the singer Maynard and Hicks were very much good friends for a long time. And when he passed away, he put him in that song as a tribute to Bill Hicks. And ever since that also influenced me to be doing comedy, music. And the beautiful mesh that it comes, you know, like the relationships that come along with it. So maybe I appreciate. It's really good that I ran into you guys' music, and I wanted to share that with you guys.
As somebody who appreciates the arts, whether it be comedy, and music, you are kneecapping yourself if you decide that you want to stick in only like one specific form of. I only like this form of comedy. No other form of comedy exists here. Well, then how are you going to grow? It's the same thing with the music. That's why we've always considered ourselves. What do you guys call yourself? Are you just this type of? I don't know, man. Just at the end of the day, come on, have a good time.
Exactly.
We personally listen to everything, and we are an amalgamation of everything that you listen to, that we listen to. We put it into our recordings. It's just, we can't help it. That's how we are. That's how interesting.
It is a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing, and I always try to like catch when you guys put out a new record, new album. Try to catch, like I was telling you guys earlier. I've been on tour lately, and it's been hard for me. It's been hard for me to kind of. I've been trying to catch their shows for like almost 3 years. Since I think right after the pandemic, I think that was the last time I had saw you guys, ran into you, and then ever since then I've been trying to line up like, where can I catch him out of town, or like, can I catch him in Dallas? No. Can I catch him in San Antonio? No. Can I catch him? And then after that, you guys went on world tour, and I didn't see you guys for like a whole year, and I was like, man, now we're here, we're here now, and it's great to see you guys back again and on the road. And how has the road been treating you guys?
Wonderful.
Yeah.
It's been amazing.
Yeah.
That's good to do. This first run we're doing, we're out with a band called the Drowns. I don't know if you're familiar or not. But obviously, it's Texas dates. We're playing with former class brands too.
Yes.
Well, we've been putting these packages together, finding out that it kind of like what we were just talking about, when you're bringing the different worlds together, the street punk and the boy and the psychobilly and all that, whatever it is, it's creating these energies and these crowds, and it's amazing. And the shows have been showing it for us, where it's like, all right, banger after banger, and it's cool. It's a lot of fun for us. It's refreshing too.
Yeah. I mean, you've been able to see it grow, and I've been able to see you guys grow since the times you've been crashing out on our crab couch, and having those late night parties.
The seafood, and then you guys would open that grill, and you guys would just have like pounds of meat
Just going all night.
Yeah.
We're like, I'm hanging in there, man. Here, eat this, dude. I was ready to blow up like 30 minutes ago, man. Like, all right, give me a second. Let me digest this. It's one of those, it's like you have so much amazing food in front of your face. You're like, I have to eat this all, but I can't.
Yeah, those jalapeno poppers.
Yeah.
I really mess with those, but man, they're so good.
And especially when you're drunk and then you attack the jalapeno poppers, you know it the next day because your whole mouth is like, it's just dead skin hanging down, and you're like, oh man, I'm done.
Yeah, those were good times. And actually, we've been talking about all those times. Every year, a group of us, a San Antonio group of guys with us, party with us when we first met, guys. Every year now we kind of hold a tradition to go out to the beach, and we talk about all the times that we had with the Koffin Kats. We should really go. We should go. And I messaged the guys, and then life happens. Everybody gets married. So Albert is actually getting married in 2 weeks. Albert is a third brother. And Lee, Carlos, the younger one, he actually got married in September. So everybody got wifed up, and everybody.
Are they all still here?
Yeah, no, they're still in San Antonio.
Are they coming out tonight?
No, I want them to, but I told them to come out. But I think they're getting ready for the wedding and stuff like that.
We've been touring for a long time and made many friends along the way, and we never get upset when somebody can't make it to a show. Because life gets in the way a lot, and we know about that quite well. So we're not
how strategically they made it to purposely tour South Texas, so you guys don't have to shove snow up and north, right? I think that was the best, most smartest answer when we asked you the first time if you guys, where are you from? Detroit. You guys come all the way from Detroit. Why do you come from Detroit to tour little old Texas or big old Texas? Well, the main reason we don't want to snubble show. Now it's like throughout the months you guys are touring when the bad weather is, and all that.
I literally just pulled up buying ice, pet-friendly ice stuff for my wife right now, trying to find a place I
There
have.
you go. I literally do that now for my everything that you guys had taught me. Had told me life on the road. I now do it on the road when I was as a comedian.
Using those Planet
I
Fitness.
shower at Planet Fitness. Yeah, there might be a chicken one. They're all different, right? I think you had the chicken. Yeah. And so
That Planet Fitness thing, we were telling bands about that. They're like, oh my god, that's genius. We're like, dude, showers every day. You know,
Remember, us traveling around. Yeah, so we would find the Walmarts. They would never really kick you, except in California, but they would never kick you out. So we'd be able to park there. We'd have access to a bathroom. We'd have all that stuff, and then usually within a 5-mile radius, there's always a Planet Fitness. Some days we go in there and work out. Some days we go in there and just go shower, shave, get ourselves
get ready to go.
ready. Yeah.
That's the most genius thing, man.
And it just moved. It just clicked the day after day of that. You know, it's like, but it was our system and it worked for us.
Yeah.
there wasn't that kind of a budget for hotels or anything.
Exactly.
There wasn't
So
a budget at all.
you guys had to do what you got to do to survive and make what you guys are now, and that's very admirable. And I'm gonna let you eat, guys, so that way we can do the food review afterwards. So
Okay, so we're gonna review this when we're done.
Yeah, we're gonna review this when we're done, guys. So check this out, and we'll give you a full load of it. I saw you guys. That was back when you guys did there's a Psychobilly festival out here in Austin.
Free show fest.
There we go. Freak Show Fest.
We did
That
two
was
of
a fun. I wish they did that again.
That's where I really started to get to know you guys like better, because I remember doing the first one. Ian was in the band because he was only a short while.
Yeah.
And
It's a small break.
Ian came in, and then I remember that's when we really got to know you guys. It rolled into like us coming to the house and then doing the barbecue and all that stuff there. But I don't know who was with who at whatever time, but it was just like it was a party, a walk. It was fun, man.
Yeah, I wish they did those festivals. I have not seen anything like that
The problem is
here in Austin.
And the festivals have like these ways to grow, right? And obviously you guys in the city gets their money. Everybody gets their money in these kind of things. So it's like it's a really fine balance. And sometimes they overstep. And one overstep in that kind of business will tank that.
Yeah, I really wish I can coordinate something like that and bring you guys down, man, and a whole bunch of great bands. It was so funny because one of the bands that I first encountered, they were called, I don't remember, Pickle Punks.
Oh, yeah.
And they disintegrated, and I always thought, whatever happened to those guys? And then I was downtown 6th Street, and the main bassist was working at one of my favorite downtown restaurants.
Jack Wolf?
Yeah, no, it was Flamingo or Cantina, and he was working there, and I recognized him, saying, "Hey, you were at this?" Like, yeah. What happened to the band?
Shit happens.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of bands come and go and stuff like that. And it's always different random reasons.
Yeah, I mean, like everything, it's very hard to find that good mesh with people, and I think that's the whole reason I never really stuck with a band myself. Because I can play guitar, but I'm not like I'm not a lead or anything. I can play good, I can keep up probably, but when it came down to it, I could never really mesh with a lot of people who had the same similar music taste or like ambitions or things like that. Like
That's more important than the actual
Exactly.
songs themselves. The songs start stapling themselves at a time. And
Right.
This band has changed, musically over the years.
Yeah.
Each way, But as far as touring, you know how it is when you're going out and you're playing gigs, you're meeting other comedians.
Yeah.
One bad guy in that room can really mess up the whole vibe of that whole night. You're trying to be in a certain mind space when you're telling jokes and stuff.
Exactly, yeah. There's always that one guy.
Always that one guy.
We won't mention any names. How's those fries?
Oh, they're delicious.
What did you guys think about El Perritos food? Was it great?
Holy shit.
I was thinking about this and I was analyzing it, and I feel that the onion to cheese to meat ratio was absolutely perfect.
Awesome.
Yes.
It's a wonderful, wonderful critique of El Perritos food. As you can see, guys, there's nothing left here. It's very gone. So they got the LP fries, guys. They got the LP fries. Still some fries there left. And Joey, what did you think about yours?
Fantastic.
Yeah. You know, he's got a food critic now, so he's got credits now as a food critic, showing up on Just Josh BorderLaughs cast here as a food critic, guys. So that's awesome. Yeah, I had to take a break from here. I was eating way too much weight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
My brother works in a pizzeria, the same thing. He's always constantly thinking it eats.
like I need to stop.
How often are you traveling?
So almost every week now.
So you train by like Friday, Saturday type thing?
Yeah, pretty much. What I'm trying to do here, so there's enough comedy here now in Austin where like I can go out every night and do like 3 shows, almost 3 shows a night. Yeah,
Nice.
but mostly like open mics and stuff like that. But there are a couple shows that are going on weekly that are just good. So almost every other night I can go out, but mostly the weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Next weekend I'll be this coming up weekend I'll be in Boise, Idaho.
Nice.
So a couple comedians that I work with throughout the years have gotten famous and big themselves. And so they're like, hey, I remember when we used to hang out. Come
open. You know?
Yeah, so now I'm getting those opportunities, and so I'm just kind of being ready and being able to like get off the bench and go perform whenever I need to. So hopefully I just impress the right people and I get to get more steady gigs, and I'm more trying to work my way into the clubs now, more like into the club settings, because like I do a lot of bars, I do a lot of like off shows, theaters and things like that, but I never really worked the club circuit. Not that I can, it's just it's very hard to get in those eyes.
We get it. It's the same thing with music, is you're always trying to cross-pollinate, styles and stuff like that. And while you're getting out with other bands and whatnot, you want to be able to get to their audience.
Do you have an agent?
No, I'm trying to get one. So if you have one, if they want to do comedy.
Ours does like sticks pretty close to like what we do.
Yeah.
But there is the thing with the agent is that you want to find an agent who's going to take you and your style and really push you and push you to whatever.
I can only imagine that at some point in the comedy world, because there are a lot of parallels, that you can DIY it for so long, but then you do reach that certain point of gatekeeping where certain clubs will not even answer your email unless you have representation.
All the time, man. It's like a door-to-door salesman. Like, you want to hear some jokes? No? Okay. You want to hear some jokes? No? Okay. You want to hear some jokes? No? Okay. And it's just constant letdown, and this is where the depression comes in, and the artists, struggling artists, the bad habits start forming. Because in their mind, they're not thinking that they're, doing anything productive or anything, but in reality, they're making waves, So I'm trying to get myself out of that mindset, because that is a downfall to a lot of comedians, is that they're in their heads, man, and it's like, this person's against me, and I'm like, no, they're not. They just don't give a fuck about what you do. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
And that's what I'm trying to get at. Like, there's no enemies here. Like, I'm in my own head. And sometimes I get lost in that too. So and a lot of comedians get lost. Well, why does this person get this show and I don't get that show? And I'm like,
You can't waste your time.
yeah, and like, why am I going to waste time and energy on that? And I'd rather focus my talent and my own jokes that I write every day and make them funny. So. And I know
Would you rather be doing that than just like something that does get all the gigs but isn't what you want to do?
Exactly.
Like you gotta choose your battles on that one.
And so with Joe Rogan coming in and all the Kill Tony kind of kills that artistry, because now everybody looks at it as a fast pass way just to get famous per se. So now you have a lot of people signing up like, I do comedy. Like, no, you don't. I'm like, no, you don't. No, you don't. You try to, but you don't. And so the ones that are there, they get mad at you, so they'll try to sabotage you, talk bad about you.
Bullshit drama.
Yeah, it's just high school, And I just stay away from that. I like to stick around like-minded people and not be around that mindset. So most of the people that I've worked with have moved on, got HBO credits, have done arenas and like done a lot of like really cool stuff. Fluffy, I don't know if you know Fluffy, he just moved down here, like New Braunfels, in between Austin and San Antonio. So this is his home base. I'm trying to get in front of his eyes, and maybe a friend of mine just started to open up for him. And me and him have been doing comedy about the same time, so it was cool to like work with those people and people that I grew up watching, like, oh wow, now I'm gonna share the stage with them.
That's us with lower class rats. I was like 13 years old listening to them. Now it's like, oh, we're on the same stage with the queers on last
You've already
year's
got a
tour.
good handle on it where you see that the comedy mothership has nothing but leeches floating around it, willing to do anything and say anything just to be inside that comedy mothership.
Exactly.
And that's the Joe Rogan's club.
Yeah.
And you know, here's the funny thing is that I listen to podcasts all the time. One of my favorite podcasts is this podcast called Who Are These Podcasts? And they rip on everything. It's like a roast type of podcast.
Right.
But what it does do is that, like, if you're an aspiring podcaster, listen to that show, because they go through and they basically lay it all out. Like, here's how not to suck, and it's very true. It's very true. And the amount of people that are able to just flip their phone open and think, well, now I'm an entertainer. And it's shows like this that go in there and go, not so fast. I enjoy that show for that reason.
Oh, I'm gonna definitely watch it now.
Yeah. But and then it's become quite successful in the last 3 or 4 years that there's spin-off shows, like where these socials where they go on and they make fun of TikTokers and all this stuff. It's just you know, it's funny, and it's crude, and you know, it's a little un-PC, which is how it should be.
It's comedy.
Yeah, exactly. It's how it feels like. It feels like it used to be when you listen to these type of shows. But like they're always highlighting stuff that's going on with the Kill Tony stuff and all that, because it's hard to avoid because it's a big drama thing online.
It is,
and it's like, yeah, that'll chew you up and spit you out faster than anything else, because you just become fodder.
Right. And I've gone on that show too, and I didn't do well, but I didn't do bad. So it was one of those situations where, as a comedian, it could either help or hinder you. And in this situation, it did neither nor. But I see most of my friends who have gone on it actually did really well and been able to like tour successfully because of it. But there is that downside to it where, you know, like, I don't think I had like a bad set, but I think the situation around it is not really a comedy setting.
No, they the way they set that up, they do it on purpose to make you feel like you're under the microscope, but there's also a fucking laser beam shooting right in your head too, just hit inside your fucking head that like, I got these guys are waiting for me to make something a bad move so they can jump on it, because they're the sharks in the water.
And you see it right away, so that's cool from a non-comics perspective. For you to say that is a lot how we comics describe it, and that's kind of like, we're like, are we going crazy, or is this how this really is? You know, is this really comedy? You know, it's questioning our perception of comedy, and we're like, no, this is not comedy. This is just a roast and making fun of people, a bully. You know, but I mean, it is what it is. But I mean, for the entertainment value, you see the positive and the negative to it. So it's like, it's a risk, you know. And for me, it wasn't such a big risk because I'm already well established. If I do good on that show, great. But if I do bad on the show, well, I'm still touring. I'm still getting the gigs. It's not like people, and actually in reverse, people have DM'd me and like, hey, I really like that joke. That joke should have won. You should have gotten the book. Like, so I focus on the positive, and it's like, I never really got any negative out of it. You know, maybe a dumb comment or two, like, that joke sucked. Like,
that's like going to happen. You could have the most flawless scene ever. There's always going to be some asshole like, I need to shit here.
Oh, he's having a good day. Fuck
and I'm pretty sure you guys can relate to some of that. So.
In the entertainment world, there will never not be animosity and envy, and it's just the way that it is. And once you start to figure out that the musicians that make it to the top are the ones that don't sit and drum on that shit, and the ones that are still the local band, you go, oh, that's why. You just let that consume you the whole time going, why are they? What about them? How come they get to do it? How come they get to do it?
Exactly.
Well, because they risked everything and got out there and did it.
Exactly.
They took the safety net out from under them, which you're too much of a pussy to do, so shut the fuck up. You know, but I mean, that's what it is. I mean, if you want to boil it down to the simplest thing, it doesn't matter. It's in comedy. It's in comedy, painting, art, you know, music, everything. You know, there's always going to be somebody going, shit, I didn't do that. I need to cut them down.
How much of your time are you going to spend listening to that, or are you just going to keep doing what you were going to do anyways? You know.
Exactly. I think those are words of wisdom from the Koffin Kats guys. So like, make sure you. So the second portion where we're going to talk about is guys. So on the next question, I want to ask you guys and each of you guys, because I know each of you guys got different tastes, and so similar. But I wanted to get you guys. Who is your Mount Rushmore of comedians? Your top 4, living or dead?
Danny McBride. Will Ferrell. Shit. The other guy from Step Brothers, I like him.
The brother, yeah,
Riley or something.
yeah.
John C. Reilly.
Yeah. Chad Riley.
Are we talking about actors or
stand-up.
comedians?
Stand-up.
Stand-up.
Shit. All right, I'll take that to Andrew Dice Clay.
Okay,
He
all
was a
right.
good one. Sam Kinison was awesome.
Yes, classic. Yeah, they could be living or dead.
Gotta throw Eddie Murphy in there.
Yeah, Eddie Murphy for sure. Richard Pryor.
Bill Burr.
Yeah, Bill Burr's great.
Okay.
We it's in the bus we listen to obviously music and we'll get some podcasts in there, but for a while there Joey was on a kick with some of the comedian stuff in it. When we were getting the Eddie Murphy, we were getting the Bill Burr and like soaking some of that in for a while. We got hours and hours and hours on the road. So
That Bond's funny.
Yeah, I like it. It's just fucking random.
Who's the other? McGillis. I like
Shane
it.
McGillis.
Making fucking grilled cheeses in the middle of the night. Ron White. He's fun. He's great.
Ron White, he pops in at every other show. And then,
He from here?
I don't think he's from here, but I think he lives here now. There's a lot of comedians that are low-key have
Places.
from California over here.
a lot of people are from
Yeah, they migrated all over. So they're here, but I don't know where. I know he might be here.
I need an address.
How about you, Bruce? Anybody that stands out on the top Mount Rushmore?
Oh, sorry. Well, obviously Phil Hicks, for the simple fact that like he was able to sneak in a lot of heavy, deep shit right over people's heads. They went into some people's heads.
Right?
But you know, Andrew Dice Clay for this just for the day the laughter died, that album alone, and then the one that the one right after that as well. Those two releases. What do you do? Something like that. Those 2 releases right there are fantastic. And it's either you get it or you don't get it.
Right.
But no, man, it might seem silly, but growing up, I used to love watching the Gallagher specials. I watched the Gallagher specials all the time.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
And I loved his jokes and everything.
He was at where we do our Thanksgiving Eve show every year in that club where we grew up, and he was performing.
Yeah, he passed away recently, right?
Yes.
Yeah, wow. So, living legend, man. There you go. The Koffin Kats top take on comedians and their inspiration, guys. So, I think this is we're about to wrap it up. I think we've had a good amount of time here with the Koffin Kats, guys. I want to thank them so much for coming out on their tour and taking a stop here, trying out some good food here in Austin, Texas, and hopefully you guys will be able to check out their profile, check out their music, and like and subscribe any of the content that you see here, or check out the Koffin Kats official website on there, guys. They have some cool merch. They'll be performing tonight at Come and Take It.
Yes. Yep.
What time? At 8 o'clock. I think at 8 o'clock, and I will be there, guys. And this will probably be already aired by the time you hear this, but check them out on tour. They'll probably be hitting a city near you if you like their music. And this has been another BorderLaughs podcast episode with your host, Josh Castro. Thank you so much, guys. Ate Guacho. And see you later, guys.
Have a good one. All right.